everybody, John for Hodgepodge Homestead. Start another pantry chat here. In the pantry, last video you guys saw I built the shelves back there for some of the new stuff. Well, I also pick you up here. I also got a new shelf right here for our spices, and I'm starting to get all the spices labeled with my label maker. Yeah, it's like my version of a computer game toy, I think. I'm not very versed in computers and all that kind of stuff, but I like that label maker. So anyway, I guess today I wanted to talk a little bit about the lifestyle of the way we live. Things that have happened to us along the way, good and bad. And I guess just to let you guys know again here, I got some notes. So I guess let's start it out by when we first started homesteading or having food prepared and water and things like that. I gotta say that we were laughed at. You know, I remember friends would laugh and stuff like that and kind of say, well, what are you doing that for, you know, blah, blah, blah. Well, the power goes out, you know, for 3 or 4 days at a time, and you got a couple 100 gallons of water stored, and you've got food. It's fine. It's actually almost kind of fun, you know, throw the oil lamps on at night, gives off that romantic glow, and you just live life, and you figure it out, and you move on, and it doesn't upset your routine at all. You know, it does, but you got to get past it. Just move on to what you can do in that circumstance. It's the choices we make, you know, living this lifestyle. Number one, we're eating better. I know where a lot of my food comes from. Now, granted, you guys have seen my canned goods. I still buy stuff from the store. Will I ever be 100% self-sufficient? No. I don't have enough property to grow wheat. I don't have enough property to, you know, to grow the things I need to grow to feed all my animals, but I try to feed them the best feed that I can get, you know, and always give them a great life. The life choices also have a lot to do with our ability just to pick up and go away for a weekend or go away for a week. You know, it's like having kids. You know, if you don't want to take your kids, you got to find somebody to watch them. Chickens are pretty easy. You can, you know, fill up their feeders and fill up a great big water and you're good to go, you know, as long as somebody's letting them in and letting them out at night. I don't have an automatic opener for my my coop. So that's something you always have to prepare for in advance when you want to leave. Is have somebody take care of your animals. Because remember, animals should only have one bad day. It's crazy the way things have developed in Heather and mine, our way of living and doing this. It's almost, I don't know if easy is the word, but it's easy. You know, we do what we do, and we've kind of gotten into a routine of doing it that way. Going to the store, I know exactly what I'm going to buy. You know, granted, it's the keeping track of everything and knowing what you have and knowing what you need. Preparing your meals in advance or having a menu. We don't really do a menu too much anymore. There's only 2 of us. Brendan, he'll eat every now and then with us when we eat, but for the most part he holds his own on stuff. But the phase of life that you go through different phases of homesteading. You know, like you'll start out, you know, gung-ho, let's get everything we need to get, and then this stuff sits there on the shelves and it's like you don't want to use it because it's almost like a collection. Well, that's the thing. None of this food is in here to sit here and grow roots. This stuff is in here to feed us and to sustain us when the time comes that we can't get it at the store. Like I've said many, many times, self-sustainment. As much as you can do, self-sustainment. One of the really cool things about doing what we do, this lifestyle, is comparing, like say you compare a chicken you raised in your backyard that had fresh grass every day. You're feeding them, but they were on fresh grass every day. They weren't lying in their own poop. They were clean, they were easy to deal with. And then you go buy one at the store. The one at the store might weigh more, but when you cook it, the amount of moisture that comes out of that bird from the store, because they're pumped with fluids, they're pumped with everything. And the taste, the flavor, even 2 or 3 days later, the flavor of a homegrown chicken is still superb. It's still there. And, we waste a lot of food. I guess I'm going to be completely honest with you. We waste some food. And I don't have pigs right now to give it to, but we just can only eat so many leftovers, And I wish that I could say that we, let's freeze it. Well, then you get going and, life happens and you don't freeze it. But we're getting better. Like I said before, I'm going to start a what to do with your leftovers series. I've got a couple videos in the works right now, and they're going to start coming out too. But anyway, just the comparing, these potatoes or those carrots to those carrots or those potatoes over there, huge difference. I just love it. And there's a sense of pride in doing this yourself too, You grew it. I didn't grow the carrots, but I bought them from a farmer and I canned them, and they're wonderful. Let's see. Understanding our lifestyle, sometimes it's hard to explain to people. We enjoy what we do, and I especially, and Heather, we enjoy getting that to other people, to show other people that you don't have to have a special skill set to do this. You just have to have the ability to pay attention, to learn a few things, and to not be afraid to try it. Because what's going to happen if you plant a whole bunch of plants out there and they don't make it? You might have wasted $30 or $40 in plants. You're going to get something out of them. But, it doesn't have to be this bang-up world-class garden every year, because it's not going to be every year. You've got different things that come into play, weather, animals, whatever, bugs, insects that get your garden. Different things happen every year in the garden. So you've just got to not be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to try chickens. Don't do 50 chickens. Do 10 chickens. Start off with 10. The minimum you can buy, I think, is, I don't know what the minimum is, but we usually do 25 twice a year. So we've got a chicken pretty much one a week if we want it that way. Sometimes we have 2 a week. But my biggest thing here is don't be afraid to try something new. Jump in. Get her done and do it. One thing that's super, super cool about homesteading is the sense of community that you can get. It is out there. Initially, you may feel a little alienated because you get some poking from your friends or whatever. And sometimes you go somewhere to friends' houses or something and you say, hey, we got to head out, we got to go home. Well, what do you got to go home so early for? We just started. If so-and-so's coming over too. Well, I got to go home and let the chickens in, or I got to go home and do chores. Sometimes homesteading, I don't want to say gets in the way, but gets in the way of your friendships and your family life and things like that. But that's a cost for having what you have. And eventually you find a community, and YouTube is a great community for it. I'm on 2 separate groups that a lot of them are the same people, but we talk about different things on both pages, and it's just super cool to learn, hey, what are you guys doing about this? What are you doing about that? And then they'll give you their input. It's kind of like, looking up different things on YouTube videos. How many pantry videos can you watch in a day? Everybody's different, but everybody's got the same goal in mind. And the whole sense of community is wonderful. Heather and I have met so many new people through homesteading and YouTube that we just love it. We love all the people. When we traveled before, we stopped at a friend's house on the way down and down to Florida, and it was just great, you know, hanging out with them at their house, you know. I remember the first time, I'll refer to Mike and Jenny Pratt, the Pratt family homestead. I remember the first time I pulled in his driveway, I had felt like I'd been there before, you know, because I've seen it on YouTube so many times. But just super cool things like that happen, and friendships that develop through this, you know. I mean, I'd be glad to meet any one of you people out there at a gathering, just to say, hey, how you doing? Shake your hand. Thanks for watching, all that kind of stuff, you know. That'd be super cool for me. So, you know, being a steward of this lifestyle is pretty cool for me too. Whether I'm, you know, teaching people how to can, or teaching people how to run a pantry, or just whatever, just talking, you know, talking to people who want to hear what I want to say, you know, and the stewardship of the land that I've got the opportunity to have here, and the animals that we're gonna have. You know, right now we only have chickens because we did just get reestablished in last May. We're gonna come up on a year here. But I think before this season's over, I'm definitely going to have pigs. I'm getting pigs here in the spring here real soon. We're going to go back to quail, because quail are wonderful. They're pretty self-sufficient. They take care of themselves. They're easy. They don't make a lot of noise. The noise they do make is really super cool. So we're going to go that route. I would love to have a couple sheep. But our big push right now is stewarding this land, and getting our garden squared away. We planted some seeds the other day in the house. I've got a couple of those stand-up little greenhouses that we got rolling. I've started a greenhouse outside, just a cattle panel hoop house. And last couple days I've made 2 more raised beds. So now I think we have 5, and we're eventually going to have 20. So I've still got some work to do. But so far I've done all of them with scrap lumber, just wood that I had laying around from old projects, or that I took apart a couple projects at other people's houses. And you know, sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to go out and you got to dig for stuff so it doesn't cost you a whole lot of money. But the whole, you know, God has given us the opportunity for this property to make it what we want to make it. So Heather and I we've got lots of plans. Hey, my kitty. We got lots of plans, and we're going to push forward with a lot of those. Come on up here, Soph. Get popular. This is Sophie. He's a good boy. He's the old man, though, aren't you? He likes coming down here and checking out the mouse traps. We haven't had a mouse in a long, long time. Got a vole the other day. I think I've got 3 mice and 2 voles the whole time we've been here. So, but anyway, back to our pantry chat here. One thing you're gonna run into homesteading, whether it's you're growing your food or you're growing animals or whatever you're doing, is loss. Whether it be, like I said earlier, a failed attempt at growing something garden-wise, or you might have an animal that passes for some unknown reason. That's hard. You know, that's hard to face that. Or it's even hard when butcher day comes up. You know, it's hard to, you've nourished these animals and taken care of them for 8-10 weeks, be chickens, or sometimes a year for pigs, and way more than that for cows, sheep. And then you got to butcher them. But it all comes down to stewardship of those animals and making sure that they had a dry place to bed every night, they had fresh water every day, good food every day, and just the ability to live a pleasurable life until that one bad day. And I use that term all the time in homesteading, one bad day. And but when the time comes to put that animal in some jars, it makes it worth it. It's hard, but it makes it worth it. I guess my main point today is, don't be afraid to try something new. Do all your research, get your information, everything you can find out about what it is you want to do, and then jump in. Jump in small. Don't jump in over your head. you know, jump into the shallow end, feel it out. If you've never had, I've got cat hair on my face from this guy now. If you've never had chickens, TSC is going to have them pretty soon, but you know, don't go buy 40 of them. You know, buy the minimum that they'll sell you, and start off that way. Do your research on your chickens. You're not going to get eggs in 2 weeks. You know, they're babies. It's going to take you 6-7 months before you get eggs from those first chickens, but you'll get them, and they'll be tasty. Those yolks will stand up that high in the pan. They're wonderful. And try your garden. All this stuff's going to be out here pretty soon at the garden stores, especially you guys that live a little farther south. You know, up here in Michigan, we're planting seeds right now, and we're hoping that's going to come to fruition here, you know, this summer. We've never had good luck with seeds, but we're trying. We're learning every time, and we failed a couple times, but we're still going. We're still trying. So I guess the biggest thing today, again, is just don't be afraid to try. Try it, make it happen, and make it work for you. So no one person has the right way to do any of this stuff. You know, you're going to look into YouTube and you're going to see 50 people telling you how to do chickens 50 different ways. Learn from them. Figure out what way is best for you, your circumstances, your barn, your coop, where you're at in the country, and learn from yourself and go for it. Do it. So, you know what we always say here at the Hodgepodge Homestead, we're not afraid to try to do stuff new. You shouldn't be either. We'll see you guys later. Have a great day.